What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor, hit that sub button and hit that notification bell. Make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content that we have coming out. With today's video, we are jumping into the Amazing Spider-Man issue number 3. If you have not been keeping up with this series, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything going on with Spider-Man in this brand new run. In the last issue, what we saw is Spider-Man being captured by Tombstone, with Wilson Fisk making his runaway, hiding out with Dr. Doom. There has been a power vacuum on who is going to be the new Kingpin. We have the Rose and Butch, both of them being the sons of Wilson Fisk. Butch believes that this is rightfully his. Rose also thinks the same thing. Tombstone, on the other hand, he believes that it is his rule, with people making some very big plays. There is still that looming idea that Peter Parker did something wrong 6 months ago, something so bad that it has affected every single one of his friendships and relationships, having to live with the consequences. He may not have to deal with them much longer now that Tombstone has him in his grasp. Be sure to buy the comic, support the industry, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, here it is, issue number 3. I know a lot of people have not been a fan of this series. They're not liking the direction that they are taking Peter Parker. They don't like the idea that everything has been stripped away from him. His relationship, his friends, he has nothing at this point. But I think diversity like this is going to give Peter Parker the true opportunity to shine. But our story, it starts us off with MJ's new love interest. Moving on from Peter Parker, she is with this man who has children. Now, in the first issue, it made it seem like these were Mary Jane's children. More than likely, she is just a stepmother to these kids. Because honestly, the timeline just wouldn't make sense if she had children that are like 5 and 6 years old. But right now, he is headed to have a discussion with Peter Parker because Peter has been calling MJ constantly, not willing to give her up, not willing to have her go off and want to be with somebody else. In his moments of weakness, he calls her. Of course, MJ, she shares this information with her boyfriend, so he has come to have a conversation with Peter Parker. When he gets here and goes to ring the doorbell, this is where we see that debt collector, the man that has been trying to get like $15,000 from Peter. After he was in the hospital for all that time, this debt collector has been breathing down Peter's neck. And so what MJ's boyfriend does is pays off part of the loan to have them leave Peter Parker alone just for a little bit. MJ's boyfriend actually feels bad for him after everything that he has been through, everything that he has had to endure. He just doesn't want to see Peter Parker being kicked while the man is down. Of course, he doesn't truly understand everything that Peter has had to go through, doesn't understand everything that Peter is currently going through, which takes us to an abandoned subway tunnel, and Peter Parker is currently tied up, looking beaten, blood all over his face. Tombstone has been going to work on him. With Peter currently unconscious, Tombstone wakes him up. Spider-Man only concerned about his identity, but Tombstone, he could care less who is under the mask. He doesn't care who plays dress up. He is here for one thing, and that is to send a message. That is to teach a lesson. This is where he starts just waylaying on Spider-Man's face, blood gushing out in every direction. Peter is getting his butt handed to him, unable to move, unable to do a dang thing. Tombstone starts off his questioning by asking why. Why did you come to Harlem and bust up the deal that they had with the Rose? And Spider-Man sees it as simple as him stopping the bad guys and he is the good guy. This is what he does day in and day out. Tombstone finding this very comical, the idea of good guys and bad guys. a man coming in with a box of roses. We're seeing that Tombstone definitely has something up his sleeve. Now this is where we're taken to upstate New York. Randy Robinson had a discussion with Tombstone because he wants to marry Tombstone's daughter. Going to her and asking for permission, Tombstone said, "You can do whatever you would like, because at the end of the day, I can't stop my daughter from doing what she chooses to do." But before Randy gets the opportunity to truly pop the question, Tombstone's daughter is the one to ask. With him saying yes, there is about to be a white wedding in their future. Taking us back down into that subway sewer, we have Tombstone telling Spider-Man about lions, about the beasts of the world, those that lack the conscious mind to understand good and evil. No one blames a lion when they go out there and eat people. You have lions known as man-eaters. A lion that has a very specific taste for humans. But you don't blame the lion for doing this. No, you say that this is within the lion's nature. This is what lions do. Some would even speculate, what have humans done to make this lion so aggressive towards their species? But they never refer to it as a bad lion. There is no good or bad lions. They are just lions. Going on to say this about multitude of animals, from dogs, all kinds of things, that the beast nature is to just be a beast. So when Spider-Man refers to him as a bad guy, he has to ask the question, why don't you ask what scientists would ask about animal? What has made that animal so aggressive in that manner? What has been done to it to make it so violent? Spider-Man finally catching on to what he is trying to say. Spider-Man asks him, "Why are you the way you are?" Across town, we have Randy Robinson's father who is traveling down the road, unable to have cell phone service. We see someone get into the car. That someone is White Rabbit. Not really understanding what this is about, we are about to be filled in on exactly why they have come for him. Tombstone going on his whole sap story about how he was bullied as a kid, blah 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 blah. You know, they've tried this with a lot of villains throughout Marvel and DC Comics, trying to make them relatable, trying to make it seem like society has turned them into this horrible, murderous monster. And the villains, they have tried justifying themselves by these means, saying that I'm not a bad guy, I'm not a good guy, I'm just what the world has made me be. And Tombstone is no exception to any of this. He tries the same old thing. He was picked on as a kid, they made fun of him, eventually he learned that he can bite people, he used this all the way through high school, through college, became a criminal warlord, and now he believes that the city belongs to himself. These are ideas of grandeur, god complexes. Yeah, he may have things wrong with him, he may have been picked on as a kid, but the truth is, if you grew up in the early 90s and stuff like that, you know all of us were picked on, and most of us didn't turn out to be some kind of criminal. It is just yet another excuse that the criminals make to try and justify their actions, that they are simply victims to society. As he goes on with this discussion, we see a whole bunch of Tombstone's men. They are all wearing roses on their jackets. This is because Tombstone, he is sending these men up to do a massacre, saying that this is all Spider-Man's fault. If he had not interfered, this situation would not be as severe as it currently is. And so a good guy got him into this situation, good guys are gonna get him out. Dressing up all of his goons exactly like Rose's goons. They're gonna go up, shoot up a whole bunch of people. They are gonna find Spider-Man dead. And then the Avengers, they're gonna come for the Rose. Tombstone is going to use the Avengers to his advantage, manipulate them, trick them into believing that this is the Rose. That way Rose is taken off the board without Tombstone having to lift a finger. As all of his men move out, Spider-Man's face just covered in blood, he is begging, he is pleading with Tombstone not to do this, to throw some salt in this wound. He lets it be known that they are going to kill Randy's father as well, to teach Randy's father a lesson. No one takes his daughter away from him, leaving one of his henchmen behind to put a bullet into the head of Spider-Man. They leave this subway, and it looks like the end of Spider-Man. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I know a lot of you have not liked this. You absolutely hated it. I've read a lot of your comments. I get it. I get where you're coming from. You don't like the fact that Peter Parker isn't the happy-go-lucky, I'm your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man swinging around making jokes. And for me, that is exactly why I don't read Spider-Man comics. I have never really been a fan of that type of character in any medium or any comic. And that's why I do enjoy this series, this little run that they have going on. While this isn't the first time that Peter Parker has lost everything, it's not the first time that he has been having all the odds stacked against him. This is just one of the first times that we are seeing him physically live through all of the consequences of his actions. Yet we still don't know what the heck he even did to be more or less disbarred from everyone he knows. With this only being 3 issues in, I'm hoping that relatively soon we're gonna get to that and figure out what the heck happened 6 months ago. But I'm not gonna lie, Tombstone's plan, it's pretty good. If he is able to manipulate this in just the right way, he could have the Avengers take out the Rose, and Tombstone would be able to slide right in and take over as Kingpin. That is, until Butch has his say-so, the current self-proclaimed Kingpin. Rose may be one problem, but there are multiple obstacles on this road for Tombstone to overcome. But let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by hitting the super thanks button. This button will let you donate directly to the channel, and every little bit helps us out. Now, if you can't do that, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that notification bell, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, and until the next breakdown.